Seth's example, they owe 120, they'd sell the house for 100.
They get a contract for the house at 100,000, then they go to the bank and say, here's my contract for 100,000, will you forgive me the 20,000 that I owe you? And because I'm short that 20,000, then the bank says yes or no.
Does the bank say yes or no?
I think they're saying yes more now than they were before.
Because the bank doesn't want to be in the real estate market, or what?
Correct. Right.
Well,
we don't want to go through the foreclosure process. The expense of foreclosure, could exceed the loss on a short sale.
And again, I appreciate that, but foreclosure being where you come in and then you go and sell the house on your own.
Yes.
And you don't know what you're going to get for it.
Well, there's a foreclosure sale.
It's going to be in.
It's an auction, and the bank doesn't know. People who buy at auctions typically are not going to be paying top dollar. They're going to be looking for the bargain.
Here's some options, just in case you find yourself or someone you know in this situation. There's a couple of options that you can consider if you're either way behind on payments or whatnot. But here's some things, and I think, Tom, you'll give me some information here to flash up. But during times of hardship, number one, if you can, certainly pay the loan current. Get up to speed on that. And that may be easier said than done, Louise, as you well know. Also, go to the bank and request a loan modification very quickly. Let's stop right there for a second, Louise. What would I do? I'm behind. I go to you. I say, Louise, I'm having trouble.
Absolutely. The first thing that you should do is contact the bank to let them know that you're going through some type of hardship. And the bank will let you know, or the lender will let you know what type of program is available or whether the bank can help you in any way.
Sure.
Sometimes they're internal programs, and if your loan has been sold to Fannie or Freddie, as Seth said, there's the home affordable.
Let me bring it back up just to finish here. Sorry, Chip. But among other things, you can sell your house on the open market. Good luck. Or, I don't like that one. We don't want people filing for bankruptcy unless obviously they have to. Foreclosure, of course, is the option we discussed, or finally the short sale option. And any final thoughts on that before we move on?
Well, it's actually reversed. 5 and 6 should be reversed because the short sale is the option that the owner has relative to trying to work things out with the bank and finding a buyer at the same time. And then the foreclosure is the ultimate non-option where the bank takes it away from you.
One thing that's really important is that whatever situation you're in, if you're in hardship, answer that phone. The bank wants to help you. They don't want to foreclose on it because it costs them so much money. Just talk to them. They have remedies that are available for you.
But there are some things that homeowners should know about short sale, some pitfalls of short sale.
Yeah, but unfortunately I'm sitting at the edge of my chair, which means we're out of time. So hold it, because I've got to get this last couple of points in, okay? Let's talk about taxes and tax assessments. And I'm going to you guys first, but anyone can chime in. When you're bringing a buyer in from out of town, whether Pulaski or Podunk, and they have to look and say, holy cow. I mean, no? The real estate taxes have to be a bit of a deterrent for out-of-town buyers.
It's probably more of a shock at certain points. It's not a deterrent because they're coming here.
Okay.
On that piece of it. It is definitely different. There is obviously out there nationally, different states obviously have better tax programs on there. I think the states have ways of getting your money regardless, but it's something you definitely have to work through.
And we have much better school systems, so that's
see right there, that works out.
And in many cases, it's a trade-off. The real estate is lower, so they're pleased at the cost of real estate, but not so pleased.
Come on, Louise.
Well, it's more what's the monthly nut? How much do I have to pay on a monthly basis? It's not your taxes are higher, but the mortgage is lower. It's it makes a difference.
Let me go to the attorney. If you feel you're looking at house A is assessed at X and house B is assessed at Y, and they're very similar, but one's way out of whack.
And your house is assessed at Z.
Well, so what's the process?
Well, the process is probably first and foremost to go down to the assessor and speak to them depending on where they are on tax day and their schedule. And each municipality is a little bit different. The city of Syracuse is very different from a lot of the townships. Go request an informal conference with the assessor, and even there they'll have different circumstances where you may have to go in front of a board or just have a one-on-one conversation with the assessor at the time. If you have that conversation with the assessor, you may be pleasantly surprised that the assessor is willing to consider reducing the assessment. Your best bet is to talk to your friends in the real estate community and get what they were mentioning earlier, comps, and be able to demonstrate why that assessment is too
I like,
high.
and Louise earlier tonight said you know, we don't pay attention to the assessed value when making or approving the loan, correct? I have that right?
The appraised value.
Yes. So here's the question. Would you guys recommend someone use a paid-for appraisal as a way of contesting an assessment?
Well, I think any tool you use to do your homework, to go to assessor, makes it that much more valid for you and gives you a better chance. If you got to arm yourself with everything possible, if it's worth it for you to do that, to spend $300 to have someone go to appraise it and go through that process, that's great. Having the CMA has done wonders too. We have clients that actually come back to us usually once a year, some of them, and what's going on with the neighborhood, here's what's happening. They bought 3 and 4 years ago, and that's not where the market is today.
Okay. Yes or no? Market's in an uptick?
Yes.
Certainly better than last year?
Yes.
Okay. Looking better?
Outlook
is good?
Yes.
Here's what's coming up next week on our program, because we're just about out of time. We will return to the financial markets. We've got a money manager coming in from Cobleskill, New York, to talk about mid and small cap stocks, which have been quite good this year so far, Seth. We'll get to the markets 1 week from tonight, and also Elizabeth Pulverenti returns with all the update numbers. Thanks to those of you who called tonight, but special thanks to the 4 of you. I know we tried to cram a lot in, but Seth Fischer, excellent job. Attorney and partner with the firm of Hill and Fischer here in Syracuse. Always a pleasure having you on, Seth. Thank you.
My pleasure, Danny.
I'm sure it is. Chip Hodgkins, associate broker and partner with Hodgkins & O'Hara, team here at Caldwell Banker in Syracuse. Appreciate your thoughts tonight. Louise Hoffman, first-time guest, did a great job. We thank you. Vice President with Residential Lending and Salve Bank. Thank you, Louise, for joining us.
Enjoyed it.
And finally, Tom O'Hara, also associate broker and also part of the team of Hodgkins & O'Hara with the Caldwell Banker office here in town. Thank you very much, Tom, for joining us. We're totally out of time, but thank you. We'll return in 1 week. Until then, from all of us here at Financial Fitness, I'm Daniel Pluff, wishing you all the best.
Financial Fitness with J. Daniel Pluff is made possible by our members
and by Corporate Maintenance Systems, providing janitorial and commercial building care for all business sizes and types since 1985. On the web at corporatemaintenancesystems.com or 463-2779.
And by BHL, Bailey, Haskell, and Lalonde, providing their clients access to a comprehensive portfolio of essential services, including risk management, commercial insurance, industry-specific expertise, and insurance for your individual needs.